Welcome back to Fire Emblem Engage. Last time Actually, I feel like it's about time I changed Aaliyah's outfit. There we go. Last time we talked about the Ivy League and also did some training with Furine. And speaking with Furine, I need to cook a meal with Saline because that training fight used up my previous meal.
Welcome.
I also realized a few things from last time. Firstly, that support that I was thinking of is actually Diamant and Fram, of all people. So I might want to try and get their support up a bit. Secondly, I realized that Kagetsu, I made a mistake two mistakes in his bio. Firstly, his HP base was a little wrong, and secondly, he actually has a +1 luck cap, as opposed to a -1. I knew the -1 looked wrong, considering how ridiculous his luck base is.
Do take a portion to eat during your travels?
And it was at least good enough for a takeaway meal. Wow, the gold of Roy's armor looks really good at this angle. So this area right here, the Shadowy Moor, that's actually, you actually can get skirmishes in Destinia Cathedral now. The reason why I say that is comments mentioned that a few characters have very interesting comments on Destinia Cathedral after battle, but I didn't realize you could get skirmishes there now. We're supposed to be on the run from Elusia. But yeah, this is the location of Chapter 11. It's still a location you can visit on the world map. But we're heading all the way down here into the Queendom of Solm in the Tula Desert. Now, before I head in, I just want to talk about one thing, and I'll go to the inventory to show this. So, my squad right now is kind of shaping up to be pretty close to what I want to bring to endgame. Unless Louis ends up dropping off a lot, I'm thinking that potentially I may end up dropping him, or if for some reason Clan also drops off, I don't know, there's options. But my team is kind of solidifying, so something I probably should have explained earlier is Engage is not a Fire Emblem game where you can train everyone. It's pretty much the first game like that since, since Radiant Dawn, actually, or Shadow Dragon, since Awakening and onward. There's kind of been enough skirmishes to pretty much grind anyone you want up, and while I do like that, the thing with this game is that skirmishes scale according to the average level of your army, which makes them pretty much unviable for the lower leveled characters who are falling behind by this point. And even the DLC paralogs also do this. So, this is a game where you really should pick a team and stick with it. Now, the good news is that characters who join start at a pretty appropriate level, for example, Ivy, Zelkov, and Kagetsu, and can basically slot right in. And that's going to be important now because we're going to be getting a lot of new characters in Solm. And because of that, our deployment slot's going to be quite limited for the next few chapters because we'll be forced to use a lot of new characters in these maps. What is the total number of characters you should be focusing on? Well, eventually the total deployment size you'll get is 12. But Aaliyah counts for one of those slots, and one of those slots probably should be the Dancer, who joins a little bit later. So really you're working with 10 characters. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I only have room for one more in my final team, if this is the one that I want to go with. And I kind of have two ideas for who it might be. So we'll see how things go on the fly, but first, let's head into the desert. Chapter 12, The Sentinels. Shouldn't this chapter be called The Lancers in Europe?
So, this is Solm. It's very sandy.
Well, firstly, there's the obvious Anakin joke, but this also reminds me of that line from FF13, all this dampness is damp.
The Queendom's land is covered in deserts. I believe this one is called Tula.
So yeah, Ivy's promoted outfit is showing up in cutscenes now, and I believe the Royals actually do show up in their normal class outfits. I think I did reclass Aaliyah to Hero, and he had the Hero outfit in cutscenes in my first playthrough, which was awkward since a lot of people don't like the Hero outfit.
And as you've no doubt noticed, it's much hotter than in Elusia. I fear I may melt.
Well, you are used to the Icy Kingdom.
What now, Divine One?
We'd better head straight to the palace. I just hope the hounds haven't gotten there first.
Yes, because they have Yzma and Kronk powers and can suddenly get to there before we do for no explained reason.
During my time in Elusia, the four hounds did pay a few visits to Solm. But they came back empty-handed each time, so I expect the palace is unharmed.
Thanks, Ivy. Pretty handy having an enemy as a friend.
And looking on the bright side as always.
I will choose to take that as a compliment.
This is just something that Alfred probably hears a lot.
Which emblem ring was entrusted to Solm?
The Radiant Hero, said to be among the most powerful.
Oh boy, yeah, well, if that's true, we really want him on our side. Not least of which because he'll give Kagetsu axes.
Needless to say, it would be quite a boon.
Sounds like exactly what we need right now. Let's get going.
I mean, I was kind of jumping the gun by saying it'll give axes, but come on, we need an emblem that gives something other than swords and bows.
Let's see. Which way to the palace again?
So in that direction, sand, rocks. That direction, sand, other rocks.
Divine One, I believe we passed that enormous rock earlier.
What? Really? All this terrain looks the same to me.
Me when playing most open world games that aren't Xenoblade.
I wish I could help. My knowledge of Solmic geography comes only from maps. Wait a moment. Prince Alfred, Prince Diamant, your nations are allied with Solm. Haven't you gone to the palace before?
I did, but quite a long time ago. I don't remember the way.
I traveled from Firene. I've got no clue how to get there from Elusia.
Yeah, Firene's entrance into Solm is on the complete opposite side of the continent.
So none of us knows where to go. All right, I'll say it. We're lost.
This just reminds me of one of my few, one of the few lines I actually really like from the 4Kids Pokemon anime. Don't tell us we're lost, okay? I won't tell you.
I'm afraid so. We can't afford to waste time. I wonder if there's a landmark to go by.
Well, I mean, at least if we find a landmark, we'll respawn there if we die, right? And now they're back to default outfits, I just realized.
Hey, you don't look like you're from around here. What's with the outfits? Sorry, I didn't mean to startle you, but I took one look and thought to myself, they are lost.
And, who are you?
Who am I? I'm the guy, here to keep the peace in Tula Desert. Call me Fogato, yeah? As captain of the Sentinels, it's my duty to help people in need. You find folks need a hand, just let me know.
Thanks for that. As for myself, I'm the Divine Dragon, from Lethos.
Wait, yo? You're telling me the Divine Dragon is here, in my desert? No kidding?
Yes.
Oh, I had no idea. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to be rude.
You weren't. There's no need to be formal with me.
Didn't expect you to be casual. That's cool. But hey, what brings you all out to my piece of the world?
We're on our way to Solm Palace, but we don't know how to get there.
This is your lucky day. Come on, just follow me. If I know how to get anywhere, it's the palace.
You don't mind?
Of course I don't. You know what's out there? Sand, as far as the eye can see. And I would rather you not have to deal with that. Lucky we met, huh?
Thank you, Fogato. We appreciate your help.
Well, one of the previous people that we met tried to shoot us, so you're at least doing better.
Don't sweat it. Oh, you know what? I do have a quick errand to take care of first.
So, I can say Fogato is voiced by Zeno Robinson, and we know that he's gonna voice Junpei in the Persona 3 remake, and considering his performance as Fogato, I am so hyped for him as Junpei.
An errand? What kind of errand?
More of a mission. See, not too long ago, these freaky creatures started appearing everywhere. As captain of the Sentinels, when I get a report about a problem in the desert, I take care of it. Sorry about this. You have a sit, and I'll take you to the palace right after I'm done.
Actually, why don't we come with you? We can help.
After all, those freaky creatures wouldn't happen to have glowing eyes, cracks all over their skin, go all the time.
Well, that'd be great. My friends went ahead of me. let's go meet up with them.
And like I said, we're going to be getting a whole lot of new characters in the Solm arc. Some may say the characters we get are a bit too powerful, and yep, called it.
The problem's even worse than I expected. Hey, there they are! Pandreo! Brunei!
One of these two is amazing in both character and gameplay. The other is the exact opposite.
Fogato, you're late. I was starting to think you wanted us to die out here.
With any further delay, these creatures would have made a meal of us.
Sorry about that, fellas. But hey, I brought help.
Help? What do you mean, help?
Oh, Pandreo, my pious friend. This is really gonna blow your mind.
And Alira's like, oh no, oh no, oh no, he's introducing me to an actual worshipper.
Hello, I'm the Divine Dragon. Nice to meet you.
And this entire area is going to explode with the force of 1,000,000 Bolganones right now.
Oh, it's the Divine Dragon. The Divine Dragon!
I mean, admittedly, areas exploding with 1,000 Bolganones is generally what happens whenever Pandreo is there, so that's normal.
Hang on. What were you thinking, bringing the Divine Dragon here?
That hair. Like two scoops of sorbet swirling together in the desert heat.
Oh, Brunei is such a waste of Ian Sinclair.
Hey, save it for the kitchen. That's a deity you're talking about.
I knew this would get you two fired up. Divine One, these are my Sentinel friends. What do you say? Ready to handle a mission with us?
Ready.
So we just have a mission fighting some corrupted. Like I said, this chapter is a welcome breather, both story and gameplay-wise, from chapters 10 and 11. And yeah, we're getting right into it. So, firstly, I did mention the limited deployment slot. Well, 7 is a little more than I was expecting, but it does mean 6, including Aaliyah, which means we have to drop a fair few people, and I really want Ivy for this. Well, we just got her, and I haven't had a chance to really show her in combat against anything that wasn't Lyn. So, okay. Also, Anna just promoted, I probably should be using her. Sad thing is, I kind of doubt Louis will be that great. Also, we have desert terrain here, but most of it doesn't really slow down horseback units. It's this quicksand that does, and the quicksand, unlike most desert terrain in Fire Emblem, is equal opportunity irritation. It also slows down mages, cavalry, it slows down basically everything. If you have a Griffin Knight, though, their class skill makes their space and all adjacent spaces have a movement cost of 1. You can see right here that even though this guy's a mage, he doesn't ignore this, like mages traditionally ignore desert in Fire Emblem. So you can actually put a Griffin Knight here strategically and cross this terrain faster, again, if you have one. Speaking of flyers, we've got a Corrupted here with a spear, and we have some Wolf Knights as well. Oh boy, Wolf Knights are, in my opinion, one of the most irritating types of enemies in the entire game. They are weirdly durable for how speedy they are, and they also have daggers that can poison you and also hit pretty hard. Okay, this guy's a drawable 11 sword, but we also have 3 Solmic Herpderps over here. And this guy in particular you need to protect because he has a Master Seal. They'll give you their items after the chapter if they survive, and because of that, yeah, so... if only we had Sigurd, but no, we do not. So, I'm gonna need to send Ivy around here, potentially even, yeah, here's the thing. So I also like to Astra Storm some of the enemies that are a threat to the NPCs early on. I believe this is a route map, especially since it seems like there's no boss. And, can we check, how many enemies there are? I mean, I suppose I can count them. So only 13 enemies on the map to start with. Now, the thing with this chapter is that, on my first playthrough, I was able to beat it in like a couple of turns. Like, literally 2 or 3 turns. But then I played Maddening, and let's just say if you don't finish this map in 2 or 3 turns, it gets a lot longer. Also Emblem rings. So right now, nobody has Lucina. Okay, my first port of call is Lyn, and I'm kind of thinking I want to show off, as good as she is on Ivy, I do want to show off Lyn's 20 range on a covert unit.
Lady Lyn, let's go!
I don't really know what Aaliyah is going to get close to, so I'm actually kind of thinking that maybe I will use Lucina on Ivy, even though I don't normally do.
Lucina, together.
Oh, also I have another major correction to make about the previous Somniel. I don't know why even it's considered inheriting Dual Assist on Ivy. I think it's a mistake I made in my first playthrough. Inheriting Dual Assist does literally nothing unless you're already a backup class. So only somebody like, say, Anna or Lapis should ever consider inheriting Dual Assist. Okay, Anna can get all the way across there this turn, which is nice. I like having that Dire Thunder on Clan, but I kind of want to swap Dire Thunder over to Jean for now. Meanwhile, Anna can take the axe of the other Anna. Not using you in this chapter, but this is kind of future-proofing, I guess. And you can take Alphonse's weapon. Also, Aaliyah still has Alphonse's Bond Ring. Okay, I'm actually going to put Ivy all the way down here. And the reason is, that might be my only hope of catching the Swordmaster, because if you reach the villagers, they will die, and I actually think Jean is, like, just barely out of range with the Free Staff if he starts down here. It's like 6 spaces, I don't think it's quite enough. Also, be prepared for some amazing music.
Help! Help!
Corrupted are attacking our trade routes! Save the people threatened by the Corrupted.
Alright, let's do this thing, Sentinels. And, guests.
Yeah, somehow we are the guest party members for this map. Kinda makes sense, though.
Finally! Time to get this party started!
This is something that I really appreciate the localization for. Apparently in Japanese, Pandreo just yelled when excited, but in this version he howls like a wolf, and his voice actor does a fantastic job.
I will serve up a most deadly dish.
Meanwhile, Bunei is still Bunei.
Before I forget, watch out for those patches of quicksand. That stuff will really slow you down.
Quicksand is a terrain type that greatly reduces movement when a unit leaves the space. Avoid quicksand when possible to maintain your mobility. Well, flyers ignore it though. Mages don't, and mages normally ignore sand in Fire Emblem. Also, yeah, we have these 3 right from the beginning. But we'll get an additional tutorial if we select Pandreo.
Divine One, it's such an honor. Please, use my abilities as you see fit. I can use my staff to warp you or an ally somewhere far away on the battlefield.
I love this because just like Celica back in Firene, they're giving us a tutorial encouraging the player to use the warp staff. I feel like most people undervalue, like new players often don't use it because it's never really explained, but it's one of the most powerful things in the series, and I love that they are, well, explaining it here. Thing is though, honestly Pandreo is kind of wasted on using support staffs. He's much better offensively than as a staff user. I'll go into that later in the Somniel. Also, his personal skill is fantastic. Yeah, Pandreo is often described as Magic Kagetsu, which should give you a bit of an idea of the glowing review I'm going to give him later. But this warrior right here is actually a pain. Let me show some fail channel of what happened to Bunei earlier. Okay, so we've got... That's actually quite a lot of damage. See, already Bunei's not actually great when it comes to defensive ability. And he just joined. What was I just saying about characters having appropriate, yeah, remember that warriors are still backups, appropriate, stats and levels for their join time. Yeah, Bunei's actually not looking so hot right now. Oh, no!
They got me.
Okay, I did not expect that thing to go up.
All of my senses are fading, and still, defeat tastes.
I would say I'm sorry that happened to Bunei, but well, honestly, I don't like it when people in Fire Emblem, like, laud the deaths of characters they don't like. They do it way too often with people like, yeah, a lot of Sacred Stones characters like Amelia, and it's just, yeah. One time, Awesome Games Done Quick actually made it a donation incentive to kill Amelia in a Sacred Stones run. Like, that just, honestly, to me, that's just disgusting. But okay, right, avoiding depressing myself here, let's just have Anna show off her Radiant Bow powers. Meanwhile, Jean...
Sounds perfect.
Will use the Thunder to... I suppose he'll take out the top one. Yeah, if I could somehow get Dire Thunder onto... I probably do that with Ivy, honestly.
Goodbye.
But I did want to show Ivy with Lucina for this. But if I could get, like, somehow Dire Thunder onto the Swordmaster, that would be really great, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen anytime soon. So instead, I'm going to Radiant Bow this guy in the face twice. Yeah, this is like... Okay, well, nice.
All in a day's work.
I was gonna say I don't like Anna getting hit there, but, well, she didn't get hit because of that. Oh, and hey, her personal skill triggered for the first time. I still think it's kind of weird that her personal, like, her base luck is so bad, because I just find that, like, Mega Killing is good in theory, and a lot of people go High Priest just for, well, I mean, High Priest hasn't really worked out for me in Luck Growth department, but you get the idea. A lot of people go High Priest just for the, okay, there we go. Just for the, luck growth.
That was a cinch.
That was an outright one-shot. That really was a cinch. But in practice, it just takes so many levels for Anna to actually get, like, to get that going. But okay, yeah, this guy's a great axe, so he's going to attack Aaliyah and immediately die before he gets a chance to do anything. And you attacking Yunaka, I'm kind of fine with. This guy also has a smash weapon, so if he attacks Pandreo, he will also just die. But also I would kind of like to get Clan in a little closer. Maybe because I need to take out that warrior who, like I said, is actually a huge pain.
Did you see that?
Have some hydration in the desert. We're hitting you in the face with an oasis.
Devoted to you.
Right then. Here's the thing, though. Like I said, so this guy's kind of going to get stuck there. I might need to try and freeze him with Jorn later if he's in range. If he's not in range, that could be a problem. But Ivy really needs to catch that guy. If I use Thunder, how much does my speed go down? 14. I don't actually think the Swordmaster doubles me if I use Thunder. I think I will engage, though.
Grant me strength.
Yeah, because Lucina's engage skill is like an activation thing, you really shouldn't, like, engage with her unless you really need it, but I just kind of want to show this. A lot of people really like the way that Ivy looks with, like, when she's in engage form, but to be honest, I don't really. Like, I've never personally liked the way Ivy looked in engage form. I just feel like she just hasn't... I don't know, I just feel like she doesn't really look like herself. Meanwhile, I really like Jade when she's engaged. Like, she looks pretty cool. But okay then, I'm going to preemptively Astra Storm the Swordmaster, because I will probably need him to be heavily weakened later.
By my hand.
I wonder if he'll attack Ivy and die, we'll see. Or if we'll prioritize running for the NPCs. Yeah, this right here is the reason why I put Lyn on Alchrist. I really want to take that guy out and the Wolf Knight out. Oh hey, he attacked Ivy and died.
It's over.
I noticed I said that before Ivy actually hit, but I didn't have to edit my words there. Oh, hey, another 11 sword. Yeah, Ivy's actually pretty bulky as well, but you'll notice that 6% critical that she had. Something that I forgot to mention in Ivy's bio is that her luck is really bad, and it does mean that she can face low percent crit fairly often.
I am guided by the emblems.
I like how he just made that axe fly, like, directly forwards. Now, speaking of low percent crits, please don't crit me. Thank you. Okay, yeah, I don't like this guy's crit rate at all. I probably need to take that guy out with, Clan soon. And I hold a grudge against you because you killed someone in an earlier attempt. I still like, at first I thought like that was an Emblem quote, but no, that's actually one of Yunaka's actual victory quotes. Okay, right. They didn't even do anything. Sometimes the Solm NPCs move, but I think they only do that if there's an enemy in range, which is cool. And that guy stayed completely still. I guess he's totally stuck in the quicksand, which is good because this means I can... Now might actually be a decent time for, some Dire Thunder action. Yeah, I do think Dire Thunder's a little overrated, but at this point in the game where you have no, like, better magic emblem rings, really, it's pretty nice. Also, I do believe that if Jean were to attack from the quicksand, he wouldn't have been able to canter at all, because of the simple fact that, like, the quicksand would have eaten up all his random movement. Because as we found out earlier, canter does indeed affect, well, that's still a level up for Aaliyah, but it does indeed affect, honestly, that's actually better than if Aaliyah had killed, because that means that I think Yunaka can actually finish that. But yeah, but because yes, we've learned earlier that, canter is indeed affected by movement cost from terrain. Okay, that's overkill, but I'll appreciate it.
Nailed it.
Yeah, nailed that guy's face with, I'm saying, like, hitting things in the face quite often. Nailed that guy's face with, well, not quite nails, but daggers. I mean, Alcaraz might only end up doing one thing this map, but that was a very good thing that he just did. And, yeah, because, like, depending on how things go, this map might actually be over, right now. The problem is, though, okay, that could potentially be an issue.
As you wish, Divine One.
Although, you can actually get right up in his face. Again, I keep saying face this, face that. We haven't even got the emblem of face touching yet. So, okay, here's a slight issue. Bunet has a tendency to miss this guy. He did not. Okay, that's fine. And so I normally would say I like that they kind of incentivize to use Bunet here by the fact that this guy doesn't damage him, except that I had Bunet charge into him last time, and Bunet died due to chain attacks, so, well, that was not, good. So, I guess we're gonna, or I could use the shielding art to punch the bow out of his hands, which honestly is not actually a terrible idea, given that Clan, I think Clan still doubles? Actually, yeah, this is a situation where breaking with arts is actually pretty useful. If I hit, that is. There we go! And let's send Clan in and take this guy down. Yeah, no risk to myself. I was kind of worried about that low percent crit there, but did not end up happening because of break. I do feel like break loses a lot of its usefulness the later you go into the game, but it still has its uses like that. Okay, that's a more typical Clan level up, except maybe not, except maybe defense. And here's the thing, Fogato kind of has to hit this guy now. But the Silver Bow has kind of high hit. So this free Silver Bow from Fogato, this is kind of where you're first supposed to have easy access to the Radiant Bow, because you can turn this into a Radiant Bow at the Forge. Of all the victory quotes you could have gone with, you went with fair. Okay, there are a couple more enemies up here that I need to take out. So we might not entirely be finishing this map in a couple of turns, but via warping, maybe. Because here's the thing, if you don't finish this map super fast, then reinforcements will start appearing. And yet they're running now, they went into quicksand. So okay, speaking of warp, I need to warp and kill this guy. And I think my best shot at doing that is probably Clan. Can Clan even reach, though, if I warp him? Huh. Please tell me I don't have to warp Bunet, of all people. 25 attack versus 7 defense. I can't be bothered to do the math on that right now. There is only one tile of quicksand. Okay, I'm gonna try. This is a bit of a weird use of rewind, but I will rewind if Clan is not able to finish this guy. Because here's the thing about this map. Okay, my first time playing. Okay, I was totally fine. My first time playing this map, I pretty much completely cleaned house in like 2 or 3 turns, and I was like, wow, that was a nice breather after chapters 10 and 11. Then I played this map on Maddening, and as I said before, if you don't clean up this map quickly, reinforcements will start spawning from, like, everywhere, including the very back edge of the map, and the map suddenly goes from taking no time at all to taking an insanely long time. Speaking of taking no time at all, thank you, Ivy. If you were not able to one round there, I might have ended up summoning some reinforcements. Okay, but I can just stand on these tiles just in case they're experience. Nope, that was bond fragments, and I can get a little bit of healing with Jean, I guess.
Kind of you.
Okay, wait, you can level up, but still. You're gonna take that. In fact, that gives you Divinely Inspiring. By you, I mean Ivy, just to make absolutely sure this guy goes down. And, he does, okay. So yeah, Ivy also pretty good on this map.
It's over.
And yeah, in fact, Ivy's Vintage Hope was totally appropriate there. Yep, only 3 turns. I think that map can actually be done 2. Or maybe even 1. I wonder if this map is potentially 1 turnable. It might be with, like, use of warp and stuff. But yeah, that's a super short map, so that's why I talked about that topic about deployment slots beforehand. And no cutscene after the map, it's just straight up, yep, that's it. That's the map over. Okay, let's go ahead and dog, give dog. I will finally achieve full dog. I wish the other animals, like, effects were more useful. But okay, you want to talk to the white dots on the map.
In these parts again. Please, mend your wounds with this.
Because they have full voice acting, and they will give you their items.
Phew. You really got me out of a jam there. Here's something for your trouble.
That actually sounds like Jonas Scott to me. I don't know if it actually is, but
Thank you.
It kind of sounds like it.
Very nice.
Yeah, let's put our own portable desert in the Somniel.
If not for your help, I would be no more. Take this item. I bet it'll be of use.
So the Patrick Sites bloodline is just all over Elios, isn't it? And yeah, we get a Master Seal there.
It can't be.
Alchrist. Yeah, as I keep promising to talk about Alchrist later, and I will. Okay, thankfully she didn't talk about the sand being rough and coarse and getting everywhere. Oh, there's another animal here, but I might not be authorized for it. Yeah, I'm probably not authorized for camels. Nope. Yeah, like, that makes sense. Like, not being allowed to raise a camel, that makes sense. Not being allowed to raise chickens, I'm a little iffy on that one. The camel just reminds me, though, that, like, when I was, like, when my brother-in-law was showing me a bit of Tears of the Kingdom.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they do make glass out of sand. But when he was showing me Tears of the Kingdom, he was fighting one of those giant frog things in, is it the Abyss? Whatever it is, the below Hyrule area. And the sound that it made when it died, I swear that sound is the Age of Empires camel sound.
Got a moment?
You know, I actually did bring a jar of sand home as a souvenir from an island that I went to. Well, I mean, that would have been pretty appropriate if I actually used him in that map.
Oh!
It's kind of cool that we're getting varied opinions on,
Thanks.
Sand and hot places here. Yeah, it does help liven up the cast a lot. Like, just, the cast of Engage gets a lot of flack, and while they're definitely not my favorites in the series by a long shot, they're still, like, around mid-tier to me, and it's because of things like this. Just, they do get a lot of personality in post-map interactions, and, like, honestly, I don't really think they're nearly as much, of one-note jokes as a lot of the detractors like to say. Really, the only one who fits that category, in my opinion, is Bunet. And, oh boy, I'll be ranting about Bunet later. I think that should be everyone. So, we're gonna head back to the Somniel, but, you know what, that was such a short chapter that I actually think I'm gonna show the end of chapter cutscene now.
Nice going. You really showed him what the Divine Dragon can do.
In only 3 turns.
Now, to Solm Palace. Stay close. I'd hate for you to split off and get lost. Again.
Thanks, Fogato.
This ought to be interesting. It's been years since I visited the palace.
Years? I thought Solm and Firene had a good relationship.
Our countries are allies, sure, but that doesn't mean our families are close-knit. In fact, out of Solm's whole royal family, my mother and I have only met Queen Sephoria.
And Saline won't get to because her plot relevance has disappeared at this point.
What? No one else?
Nope. Not the royal consort, not the crown princess, and not her brother the prince.
That's strange.
I never met them either.
Same thing happened to you, huh?
I may have forgotten the way to the palace, but I remember well what happened there. It was a strange scene. The queen received us alone, with no one attending her. When we asked to meet the princess and prince, she told us they weren't there.
She told us the exact same thing. I asked when they'd be back, and she said, no idea. It didn't make sense. If you're royalty, you can't leave your castle whenever you like. I got the feeling she was hiding them from us. But why? Were they sick or shy?
Shy? That would surprise me. Everyone we've met here has been so friendly.
The queen is too. There are just some things about the royal family that don't add up. Let's be on guard, alright?
Got it.
Huh, a rare point of Alfred actually being suspicious of people.
We're here, Solm Palace. Now all that's left is asking those guards to open the gate.
Okay, so those palaces there definitely look a lot like a certain building in modern-day Turkey. So yeah, Solm does take some influences from the Middle East, like a lot of desert nations in video games, but it's actually got a lot more than that. I feel like there's elements of Africa, and even some people have said Brazil and Latin American countries. One thing I like about Engage is that its various nations, they're not obvious parallels to real-world countries. They do take a bit of influence, but they can't really be pinned down to anything obvious. And that's cool.
Thanks for leading the way, Fogato. I don't know how we'd have gotten here without you.
Of course. Just another day in the life of a Sentinel.
I'll be sure to commend you to the Queen. Anyway, now we'd better be on our way. Huh? Fogato, what are you doing?
Talking to the guards. What else?
Does he have a meeting with the queen as well?
Beats me. Maybe he's here on some kind of Sentinel business.
Fogato, wait for us!
Hey, I'm home!
Home?
Welcome back, Prince Fogato.
I'll open the gate.
Yes, let the gate be open!
Prince. Did that guard say prince?
Unless we misheard him. In exactly the same way.
Thanks for waiting, folks.
Fogato, we're a little confused. Are you the Prince of Solm?
Did I not mention that?
No, you didn't.
Whoops, egg meat face. Right, let me do this properly. I'm Fogato, captain of the Sentinels, and the Prince of Solm. Welcome to my family's palace. Come on in. You wanted to meet Mom, right? Mom! Visitors!
What is happening?
I didn't realize he was royalty.
Prince personally going on patrols. Not something you see every day.
I wonder why we never met him before. He doesn't seem sick. He's certainly not shy.
Well, I think you've already answered your own question. He was out on patrols.
It's a mystery. Anyway, let's head in. Don't want to keep Prince Fogato waiting.
I mean, you would know that he's the prince if you saw the trailers or things. I suppose, in fact, I think actually his class description would have told you that. And on that note, see you all next time as we return to the Somniel and discuss Fogato and his entourage.